Section 2, dealing with persistent state. In the last section, we have discussed how to containerize a distributed application. In the first video of Section 2, I will introduce you to stateless and stateful services and explain what their key differences are. In this video, I am going to provide you the main characteristics of both a stateless and a stateful service. Once we know about what they are, I'm introducing some typical real-world examples for each type of service. The characteristic of a stateless service are, it treats each request as an independent transaction. Each request is unrelated to previous requests. It produces no side effects. It requires less resources than a stateful service. It is fault-tolerant. Since every request is an independent transaction, a crashing service instance does only affect the current ongoing request. If the service instance crashes, the client will be notified by an error or a timeout. It is indefinitely scalable. Each incoming request can be handled by a different service instance. It is resilient. It is distributed. A service instance can run anywhere, that is on the same computing unit such as a server or a VM, or on a different one. Stateless services do not depend on specific local resources since they are not producing any state and do not have any memory. Now to the characteristics of a stateful service. It is a service that stores data. It is a service that creates side effects. A typical business transaction can encompass multiple subsequent requests to the service. It's a service with a memory of what happened. The locality of a service instance matters. It must be where its state is. It is hard to scale. Requests from the same source or session must be handled by the same service instance that has the data. It is hard to make fault-tolerant. If a service instance fails in between a multi-request transaction, this intermediate state needs to be rolled back. It is hard to make resilient. Who takes over for a failed node? Replication to the rescue. But it is a hard problem to do replication right. It is hard to make distributed. Service instances need to be where their state is. If a node crashes, it needs to be fixed. Due to data gravity, it is not easy to just move to another node. Some samples of stateless and stateful services. Let's look at the stateless services first. A typical stateless service could be a thing such as a product catalog, or a price and discount calculator, or a mortgage calculator. It could be an authentication and authorization service, or it can be any service that filters or maps incoming data and returns the resulting dataset. Now let's look at stateful services. It can be a relational database management system such as MySQL, Postgres, MS SQL Server, or Oracle. Or it could be a document database such as MongoDB, CouchDB, RavenDB, AWS, DynamoDB, Azure Document DB, to just name a few. Or it could be Kafka, as in our application. Furthermore, it can be a distributed key-value store such as Zookeeper, Consul, or etcd. It could also be a search engine such as Elasticsearch or Solr, or a distributed cache such as Redis or Memcache.